Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Propulsion Swimming Podcast. I hope you're all keeping well. Myself and Dan, we are fully recovered now from the craziness of the summer competitions that we just did. 3 international meets back to, well, it wasn't even back to back, it was on top of each other, Pan Pacs and European Champs. Today we are going to be giving our final review of European Championships. Now I know we usually do kind of an award show and we hand out, or we essentially get the public to help us hand out different categories of awards. Now, such is life, it's thrown some massive curveballs this week. Car breaking down, actually a car broke down during Pan Pacs and European Champs and it's just been a pain ever since.
Still in the garage, isn't it?
It's still in the garage. It's still in the garage.
Yeah.
So we haven't had time to post on social media for everyone to vote on, which is a shame. Like, we love doing it and something we will be doing going forwards. Mm-hmm. But we just need to get an episode recorded again because I'm due a holiday. I haven't had one in...
You haven't had one for a while.
A very, very long time. I haven't had like a day off from everything for a little bit. So we kind of just want to chat European Championships with you all. There will be people, I'm sure, listening to this podcast who didn't tune in daily because it was a lot of content through European Champs. We said this on our Pan Pacs review. So today we're going to be talking through best male swimmers, best female swimmers, breakout swims, swim of the meet, all of the above and more. As a little bit of a catch-up, we will try and name like an unofficial award, but we won't put a big bow on it like we usually do. We'll just say, look, if you missed the swim, this is the swim, like the swim.
Yeah, we can't.
There
give
was
out
a big name
officially, really, because we don't have the trump card of the public voting in. We'll give a rough sort of top 3, 4, 5 or something like that, which would have been helpful if the public kind of helped us with that, because some of them were really going to be quite difficult to pick. But I mean, yeah, we'll basically have a rundown, a bit of a recap of what we did through the 7 days of racing and kind of condense it into a 45-minute chat, basically, of the best swimmers, like you were saying. And yeah, lots to get through because there are many swims that were good and many swimmers that were strong too.
They were. Like, the standard of swimming at this European Championships, I think, was closing in on what we've seen at World Champs recently. I think, from personal preference, this was my favourite of the 3 meets this summer. We had big name swimmers making their comeback. We had an outstanding French crowd, by the way. More competitions need to happen in France. And it wasn't just because of Leon Marchand, because he was barely in the water at this meet compared to what he usually is. It was still loud every single night. They know their swimmers over there. And then we just had good racing. We had world records we didn't think were going to go. We had fascinating battles. And actually, a really, like, I'll put a bow on it. A really good week for Aquatics GB. Top in the medal table. Coming out of Commonwealth Games, there were a lot of questions about a lot of swimmers. I think they targeted the right meet. This was a big meet to target. Commonwealth Games, sure, it was great. Scotland did amazing. The swimmers who clearly aimed slightly at European Champs over Commonwealth Games showed up. And they showed up big. We come away top of the medal table with some, like, British records, some big swims we're going to get to. Really, really, really good meet.
Yeah, I mean, overall, we had messages from people that were actually in attendance at some of the days that they were there, and they arguably said that this is right up there with one of the best meets that they've ever been to.
They went to the Olympics, and it was much the same.
Exactly, yeah.
If not better.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it needs to be happening in France more often because they're super passionate. The message that we got, they also went to Rome, and the Italians are quite passionate as well.
Yeah.
So, and this was right up there. And from a spectator point of view, in terms of watching on the stream, I thought it was absolutely outstanding. Literally back-to-back racing. You had no chance to catch your breath until the medal ceremony, which was maybe 45 minutes in.
It's helpful for us doing some sort of media bits.
Oh, yeah. Have a cup of tea or something, just to catch your breath a little bit for 5-10 minutes, and then back straight into it, into semi-finals or finals, whatever the schedule was. It was, honestly, one of the best sort of experiences as a swimming fan that I've had for a while, I suppose. And long may it continue. It was just a bit of a contrast when you're going from that into Pan Pacs and you think, oh my...
At 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
I'm falling asleep watching this. But there was no chance of that at Europeans.
Pan Pacs was falling asleep because we did get up at 3 a.m. to watch it.
Yes, but it dragged
was
so
a little
badly,
bit... Anyway. I'm going to be honest, it was a little bit of a taster of the hell that's coming when LA Olympics come around, because the final sessions are 2 till 4 a.m. in the morning. Yes. Not to give anyone too many nightmares already. That's going to be fun. It was fun to interact with Pampa, actually. It was a different audience we had on the stream, and I felt like because there were no British swimmers, we could be a little bit different with our... Like, I was overly critical of Jack Alexi on that, but...
You were. I was kind of harsh as well, yeah.
I was a bit grumpy in the morning. Which got... Right, let's get into European Championships then. So... I think the best place we always start these with going through like best male, best female swimmers. So I'm gonna throw a curveball at you, Dan. Let's start with the female side of things, because the female side for the Brits was phenomenal. So you come away with Katie Shanahan hitting a British record in the 200 meters backstroke, which I'm gonna be honest, like even the most optimistic inside British swimming, I think after champs would have said possibly not coming this year. She's had one of the best summers of any British swimmer. There's maybe one more who's had a phenomenal one. We'll get to her next. But Katie's shown so many improvements this summer that you're suddenly going, look, you've found the event. Like it's always been there, the 2 back, but the 4 a.m.s come into focus, the 2 a.m.s come into focus. She swam 100 back, and the 100 back has made improvements.
That's also PBs, yeah.
Yeah, 200 back. That's a massive British record she's taken down. 17 years old. That British record is super suit Gemma Spopoff, big time swim that I know swimmers have targeted in the past heading into Paris Olympics, and we've gone, okay, that time is fast. You know how fast that is. She streaks ahead of the rest of Britain now in 200 backstroke, like seconds.
Yeah. No, she had a really strong summer. Commies, she swam really well, but Europeans obviously was the icing on the cake for her. And Annie Jameson said it in comms, and I completely agree that hopefully this now is the major stepping stone that she needs to then go leaps and bounds, and then potentially as soon as you're touching into that 205 sort of category,
you're up with the Americans.
You're really up there then. You really are. You kind of have to forget about Regan Smith and Kaylee McEwen at the moment. Isabel Staddon's getting quite strong as well. Low 204s, I think she's at. So, the top of the world is really quite strong. But yeah, I mean, Katie Shanahan had a fantastic summer. Honestly, PBs all over the place. Super good in Glasgow as well, helping the relay teams. All the rest
that
of
was the thing that impressed me the most. I thought Glasgow was the peak, getting her silver medal.
For the Scottish swimmers especially.
Yeah, but she's got her silver in Glasgow. She bumped one up, and the confidence was flowing so much that she's come away European champion.
Well, I just love the fact that she did this final perfectly. Obviously, the semi-final looks relatively comfortable, and she thought, well, I can really actually kind of push the first 50 into the second 50 more. And she did that like perfectly from that point of view, and then came away with a massive British record, a massive PB, and hopefully, like I said, massive stepping stones for the future come Worlds. Well, let's go champs first, I suppose, and then on from there, I guess. And then we said the other swimmer.
Well, there's two. I'm going to bring up one more. I'm going to bring up one more first.
Kiana. Let's go with Kiana first.
Yes.
Stunning swim. Well, actually swims, because the 200 fly was outstanding, equaled the British record on the 100 fly, and I thought I personally thought she would have targeted commies, being Scottish, being home crowd, all the rest of it.
Well, I think she did.
She might have done, but then the whole ethos that we have is the more you race, the faster you go, and maybe that really helped her out.
Well, she saved it to the final day of European Championships, didn't she? Because the 2 fly was the last event for her individually, of which it was a gutsy swim how she raced it. She
it's the
really
same sort of thing as Katie, if I'm honest.
Yeah, she there was a different level of confidence and just went, you know what? Not almost sod it, but look, I'm going to show myself what I can do in this final now. I don't need to... she has... It's not a critical thing, but she has paced every single race that she's done, in my opinion, perfectly. Over the past 3 years, she's come home with energy, and she's not died at the wall. This one, she took it out harder, and I don't think she died at the wall at all.
Held form, definitely.
She held form, yeah, but she certainly pushed the first 100 more than I've seen Kiana do before, and attacked the race so much that at 150, surely, this is it, surely. I'm not seeing ghosts here, she's got to win this. Yeah. And not just that, the 100 relay for the women's
at the end
4x1 medley. Yeah. For her to come back, it was like an hour after that 2 fly. She's had a podium in between, and then I think she set the fastest British 100 fly relay split of all time. If it wasn't then, she set it in the medley relay. I think she, like you said, she saved everything for the last day. It was really, really impressive. And talking of that medley relay, I'm going to bring up Angharad Evans, because... We're growing something really, really special on our YouTube channel for the Propulsion Swimming Podcast. We're going to go live on we're going to try every Monday night to start with and see if the cadence is too high. But we're going to go live every Monday night at 10 p.m. That's British time on the Propulsion Swimming Podcast YouTube channel. And this first week, we're launching a power rankings index.
Yeah.
So something I've taken from American sport. And we've grown out our own formula, our own database, and we put quite a lot of weight on relay swims because they're important. They're huge. And some of the relay swims we saw this summer were incredible. Like, the times were nuts. We saw what Gretchen she's lowered the 100 fly world record split in a relay.
In a relay, yes.
And
individual, obviously, but yes, yeah.
Angharad Evans in the 100 metres breaststroke has gone a 103.75, of which now I don't think in the mixed medley relay there's a question if you put her in. She's in, ahead of Adam, ahead of Philip. And all that to say, like, the medley relay, that is your big joker. She was almost 2 seconds faster than Pilato, than the rest of the field. And she's backed up Commonwealth Games with huge swims. Like, there were question marks. Like, I saw it in the comment section. Us are giving her female swimmer the Commonwealth Games when the times weren't quite there. Well, the relay times really were there, and she's done it again.
Yeah,
and she's gone a British record in the final of the 100 meters breaststroke now. Those questions are gone. Like, she can do it in a final, in my opinion. And I'm so hopeful that the nerves have been steadied by a busy summer.
It was very clear that she was nervous in Glasgow. I mean, the pressure that she put, she put the pressure on herself. I don't know if it came from anyone else in the crowd. I suppose there's expectation because you're the favourite by a bit of a mile, really, when it came to Glasgow. But she put the onus on herself to actually really perform. And I guess, time-wise, she didn't, but still came away with the golds. And that was what really counted for her. And a bit like what we said with Kiana and with Katie, like the confidence and self-belief that you gain from earning that silverware must pay dividends, basically. Heading into Europeans, the field is so much deeper. Like, a European breaststroke is tough, and she's kind of won relatively comfortably, I want to say.
In the 100s.
Yeah. The 200 is slightly different when you got chicken over the world record holder, but even still...
I think that's a good thing.
She put herself against the very, very best, and actually did a different tactic to what she did normally, like at Champs, for example, and really tried to attack the race and attack Chukanova. Didn't quite work out, but I appreciate the effort and the courage that it took to be able to do that, which is obviously quite hard when you're pushing the first 100 of the 200 quite hard. She's a fantastic swimmer, both individually in a relay, and like you said, I don't know if you can put a male... Usually you put a male breaststroker in on a mixed medley relay. But if you're going 63 points for a female, it's difficult to... We try to work it out, and I think she's basically a second faster if we kind of switch people around. You can't not put her in, especially if she's going to do those sort of times. She's had a fantastic summer, and again, going into Worlds next year, I suspect, hopefully, she'll be the world-leading swimmer again in the 100, and hopefully she'll then bring in results again. So we'll see.
Fingers crossed. I teased our Monday thing very, very kind of roundabout way then. Every Monday live, 10 p.m, once a month, we're going to be updating this power ranking index based on swims that happen throughout that month, but they're also account for the last 6 months. This one, the first launch edition, I'm interested to see... I'm expecting backlash because I've gone through it now. We're almost at the final point of inputting well over 1,000 swims from this summer. And Angharad has a genuine chance of being top 10 over... I'm going to say over Cam McAvoy at this point in time based on how her summer has gone, because she's gone so far under the fastest split of all time in a relay. Like, that counts huge in my opinion.
I mean, we've briefly gone over what we're going to be talking about in terms of formula and what we've put into it. I think we'll go through it more on Monday, because there is a method to the madness, if you like, and it obviously works for every single swimmer. But it looks like the formula that we've put in, there's a little bit of our opinion as well. We've put like our own personal propulsion power rankings, so there's a little bit of us in there, but ultimately it's kind of done on math, time and I suppose scalps will be a factor as well, but we'll go through it more on Monday. But the Brits on the female side are flying, honestly. I know it's been male dominated, I suppose, in terms of medals and British records and
it hasn't this
the accolades, I suppose, but actually I think the women are really now starting to shine, and we said this maybe a year, 2-3 years ago, like, just wait. And it's there or thereabouts now. which is very, very exciting.
Other female swimmers who obviously stood out then at European Championships from an international or a European point of view. Mara Steenbergen, she's had the year to die for on the 100 meters freestyle, and again is one of those ones where you so wish I could see her next to Kate Douglas now and just see that swim.
Yep.
She didn't hit the world record at this meet, but she's got the world record this year. She hit the fastest, I'm talking of relay splits, fastest ever 100 free relay split for women, a 50.7. 50.7 is just otherworldly, how fast that is. And then Sarah Curtis.
You have to talk.
You have to have a chat about this, because in the 50 meters backstroke, she has taken chunks off Kaylee McEwen's 50 meter back world record. It was, what was it,
26.8, I believe.
26.8. It's now down at 26.5. Second 0.3. We actually said this leading into European Championships, like keep an eye on her technique. If it clicks, people are going to try this. I feel slightly justified that we had that conversation and it's happened. Her 50, like, I personally still regard Kaylee McEwen as the best backstroker ever. And she's just destroyed her. This is...
It's very interesting because when you look at the women's side, 50, 100, 200, and all three of those events are different owners of the world record in terms of swimmers. So Sarah Curtis, Regan Smith, and Kelly McEwen. And so, it's that event, 50 back, has moved on. Like,
really moved on.
Stupidly. I know the 53 has for the women as well, and Kate Douglas. There are some humongous, or have been some humongous world records this summer.
They train together, Sarah Curtis and Kate Douglas.
Well, there's something's working out there, sprinting wise. Doesn't matter what stroke it is. So, very, very strong swims. Steenbergen, I think, has to be right up there with one of the swimmers this year, I think, just because of the world records and the consistency of being sub 52 now, which used to be really hard and really rare to do. And she's done it, 3 times this year, maybe even more, actually.
Yeah.
And with those relay splits as well. I mean, it's just outrageous what she's doing right now. They would, that maybe that's the top echelon. I was quite happy with Quadrella. Maybe times when you compare to Ledecky and Lanny Pallister, maybe not quite there, but she's come away with 3 gold medals in the 4, 8, and 15. Van Otterdijk, I'm kind of waiting for her to kind of explode on the scene. She's kind of already there, but I need her to race again. A bit like the Steenbergen thing. I need her to race other people to see what she can really do. Sostrom coming back from giving birth 10, 11 months ago, just ridiculous, going sub 24. And then I suppose closer to home again, Ellen Walsh. I thought she had a really, really good meet in the IM events, especially those turns in the freestyle legs at the end.
And Mona McSherry did as well.
Definitely.
Behind
Yeah. So ultimately, the women's swimming right now is just on liftoff.
Yeah.
And long may it continue. Yeah.
It really is. Like the swimflation on times is just going to keep going until they're figuring things out. The men's side then, this champs felt like there were breakout superstars coming through on the men's side. It felt like a returning of the guard. Christoph Milak, as special of a meet as I've seen Christoph Milak have. Like he has changed, and I was thinking back this morning, it's almost remnant of Phelps. Like when Phelps came back, he didn't go too far over 100 meters for a little while. He sticked around that sprinting mode, and Milak's there now, and he's gone down into the 50 mode, and the 50 mode is as good as the 100. 100 fly, the world record, borrowed time. Like, he's going to get it. I have no doubt. And maybe he needs Hubert Koss to do pre-meet conferences all the time and call him out, because it worked. He actually swam relays, and some of the relay splits, again, like he went a 46-2. Chased down Kornev.
On freestyle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, if there wasn't a massive world record in the 1500, I'd probably say he was your male swimmer of the meet. I think staggering stuff.
I think you can still make that argument. I think he had that good a meet.
I could make an argument for Hubert Koss, 2 IM, 2 back, like some stupid swims from those 3 guys. But I just think Milak was involved in some spectacular races. We'll get to the best race, I think. In fact, we'll leave that for the end. But those 3 names, I think, were your sort of standout 3. And we haven't even mentioned Popovic, who was very close to the 100 free. Or Marchand. You know, it's we say women's swimming is exploding. I mean, the men's side is really just as strong as well, quite frankly.
It's it's been a good European Championships when you come away and your talking points are not Popovic and Marchand. Like it was like look, Popovic on the 100 meters freestyle, that was as good individually as you're going to get without setting a world record of 46.5. He looked so effortless the way he swims. It's just amazing seeing him pull away from other 46 swimmers. There were 3 of them in that field. It, like Dan said, he said it in the live streams. There is a genuine chance to not to make the final in LA, but there is a chance the whole final in LA goes 46 because the names are now queuing up. His 200 job done, 144. I think maybe we expected a few more fireworks off the back of the 100 free, but it was a case of job done. That's 200 free is a little bit like that. The fireworks come when you really least expect them, like Leon Marchand leading off a 4x2 French relay. Yeah. But he did the triple double. Like at the end of the day, like he's crowned. He's the best freestyler in Europe. Lieberman's going to cause him some headaches with that argument.
It's only because he's won the medals. I suppose you have to give it to Popovic now. I mean, give it a number of years. Maybe Lieberman takes that. Who knows? But Popovic is a stunning swimmer. Honestly, so young to have done the triple double, and it's hard to look past him for the next few Europeans as well. Will he hit this world record in 100 free? It looks quite likely.
I do think he's getting within touch, and I think the 100's more of a target than the 2.
I think so as well, especially when he's been training with Panzon Lohr as well. So those guys are kind of I was about to say head and shoulders, but you tell you what, when you've got Cornet and Milak and everyone, it's not safe anymore. The people are going to be joining them in the 46 mids very, very soon, I feel, which makes it exciting come LA or even Worlds next year potentially. There are other swims. You could throw Martin Engi in there, who I thought had a really good breaststroke meet.
Dominant.
Dominant. Maybe wasn't supposed to win the 50, but got there anyway. Still question whether he actually won that to the naked eye. I was like, what? Doesn't make sense. Kornev, obviously, we've spoken about him. Maybe was fatiguing towards the end when it came to the 53, but relay splits of 46.3 and sub 47s every time he swam basically. Ponti I thought did really well apart from his 50 fly with his goggle problems. The
100 time was good for Ponti. We've done that. I've put that into our power rankings. That's the best race from 3 swimmers to put into it. They're all ridiculous times. Like Grosset had a really good meet, bar one very early start, and actually just it was quite quiet on the Grosset front just because he didn't win. But the times that it took to beat him are outstanding. Yeah,
I mean, he was always going 49 point in a relay. Somehow gets bumped off that relay to the freestyle. So Marchand, funnily enough, goes a 49.6 himself. Like what? It's mad that we're not talking about Marchand, but he didn't race enough, quite frankly.
Yeah, and the events that he did were like they're still prime events for him. Like they were still outstanding, but they are not where he is smashing world records. I'm not saying he was clearly limited, but an abductor injury is an abductor injury. I don't think you could tell. Like the 100 fly time was good, the 2-3 was special, the 4-3 I said way too much on the live stream about how special Sam Short is at a 4-3, and we just need to chill with a 3:43. They were good swims. And the meet was better for him being in the water, albeit it was at the back end of the meet and the first day. Yeah, I would have loved to see what he could have done against Philip in the 200 meters breaststroke. Like that would have been wild. 2 IM against Kos, like how hard Kos. You could tell something that was the only thing missing from European Championships was Lyon and Paris. We may not ever get that again, but I would implore meets to go back to France. Yeah, that was special.
I mean, he really is. As much as he's a swimming superstar, I think he's an international superstar. I mean, the Paris Olympics absolutely helps, but I'll tell you what, he is adored in France. We need more French meets to happen in France because of what he brings to the table.
He's part of their
sheer excitement.
Big 3 sporting male icons. It's him, Victor Wembanyama, and Kylian Mbappe. Like those are their big 3. They are with Louis Vuitton, they are with Nike, they are the big 3. And that's saying something for a swimmer to be.
I know, it really is.
People probably listening to this know who Kylian Mbappe is. Victor Wembanyama is the next NBA superstar. Talked of in the same bracket as probably Shaquille O'Neal. I don't know about LeBron James.
Just as tall, isn't he?
He's a lot taller. I can tell you now.
Is
He's
he
like
taller?
he's 7'8".
It's ridiculous how tall he is. Really
But he's superstardom out in America already. In France, of course. But Leon in that bracket, again, it's a shame we didn't get to see a whole Leon this summer. But when he was in the water, it was still classy, really classy.
Really it really was. Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of agree with you. The top swimmers from this: Kos, Milak, Lieberman. Let's talk more about Lieberman a little bit later on, I think, with swim of the meet, because that 1,500 meters freestyle is going to be coming up later on.
Yes.
Big names covered. Who are the breakout names from European Championships, Dan? Because there were some stars coming to the fore at this meet.
Yeah, I mean, we've already spoken about Lieberman, but we'll talk about him later. Sarah Kersers, of course, with their world records.
They properly broke out.
Yeah, I mean, I was quite a fan of Mary-Ombre Malou. Again, being French, from the French crowd going mental when she hits her European records in her 100 back. A very solid 50 back as well, 27.0, I believe it was.
Yeah, right up there.
Useful for their relays. I mean, she was in horrible washy water in that mixed relay.
And she set a European record.
And that was a European record in that swim. Yeah, that was a big breakout for her, and we'll see what she can do come Worlds next year when she's dealing with, I suppose, the big guns, your Americans, basically.
Yeah, but she's in the 57 conversation. Like Regan Smith finals of Pan Pacs did not go 57.
No,
58.
Catherine Burkhoff did, I believe.
Yeah,
so, you're in that sort of bracket, which is extremely strong. And what is she, 19, 20? So hopefully she can go leaps and bounds within a year and maybe drop that time even lower. That would be what we've spoken about. Kornev as well, I suppose. Sharamet in the 53. That was not expected from my point of view. I thought Kornev was going to win. 21-1. I mean, if you ignore what Cam's done this year, going his 2 sub-21s, I mean, that's really good going. I mean, that's faster than what Ben Proud's ever done. Really quite something special. The straight rate's just gone through the roof. And you said this just before, and it was a good reminder. Hugo Gonzalez from Spain.
Yeah, it completely got forgotten. I'm going to be honest with you, but Hugo Gonzalez in the 200 meters individual medley, you can throw another name into the battle of the Bob Bowman. I know he's not with Bob Bowman, but Shane Casas, Hubert Kos, Leon Machon, I see those as the big three in the 2 a.m. when they are all fit and firing. Hubert Gonzalez, a 1:54.4 is in that conversation.
Absolutely.
I still have the Lochte world record as my benchmark in 2 a.m. For some reason. Like, you get near to that, I think you're upper echelon of some of the world's best swimmers. Yeah. Hubert Kos will get the headlines. Hugo Gonzalez, as far as I've seen, has had no headlines. That swim was properly good.
Very, very strong. Yeah,
you almost got Kos as well.
Yeah, well, yeah. Kos really went for it on that first 100, like basically a second underneath Marchand's world record, which obviously we know is outstanding and stupidly quick. Yes, he paid for it towards the end, obviously, but Gonzalez is one to watch out for. 200 IM. It's just another name for someone like Duncan Scott to deal with. I know Duncan's done well at recent year Olympic Games, winning silvers and stuff, but there's a number of names here that are going to really sort of challenge him, and Duncan's going to have to go, in your 154s, if not maybe 53s eventually. Ridiculous, just a podium. Any more names from your side?
Yeah, closer to home, Amelie Smith. Like, I know she didn't have the times that lit Commonwealth Games alight. Like there was no European junior record, but I was impressed that it was her third meet of the summer. Still stood up, still made finals, still took it to all of the competitors. Actually, silver in the 400 meters individual medley against Ellen Walsh. I see it. We've already said Ellen Walsh was one of the best female swimmers at this meet. Didn't quite have the legs to get home, but she's hugely promising for a 16-year-old. In Britain, probably should be talked about, maybe even a little bit more. And then Jack Kelly for Ireland. I know I don't know if it was nerves or adrenaline got the better of him in the 100 meters breaststroke final, and maybe the 2, but a sub 59 swimmer, Irish record, deserves to be recognised, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be difficult, I suppose, when you've gone a sort of a breakout time, I suppose. When you're going a sub 59, that's something really quite special when it comes to 100 breaststroke, and maybe he just tried too hard in the final, didn't quite work, maybe quite relaxed in the semi-final, and that's what brought about the times. It's all a bit of a mental game, I suppose. But he did, I thought, quite well in the 200 breaststroke as well. 209.
Yeah,
That's actually really quite good too. So we'll watch out for him later on down the line as well. I was also going to bring up another French swimmer, actually, Nathan Muratori, who actually went a world junior record in the 200 backstroke.
and missed the final.
He missed the final because of. So, yeah, he did really well in the heats and then just kind of, I don't want to say
Faded.
bottled it. He's super young, you've got to sort of
He
take
went
it
a
on the chin and learn from those things.
154.87 for a world junior record. It's
That's
big.
really
It's big.
good. Yeah, really good. And then didn't quite back it up, unfortunately. But watch out for him when it comes to the 200 backstroke as well. I know Hubert Cross is in a different dimension, but if you're going 154s, you're right up there. This is kind of
Yeah,
what you were saying with the
podium in
200 IM.
Yeah.
If you're going 154s and 200 backstroke, you're in that top echelon, really.
French swimming's doing all right now.
It's
That's what
all
happens
right,
when you
isn't it?
host an Olympics.
Yeah.
And it goes pretty well.
Yeah.
Let's talk final two kind of categories then, like best race. We've spoken about a fair few of them already as we've gone through this podcast. Let's give a few of them some breathing space, some time. And what do we mean by best race? It's not necessarily the fastest time. I would always have it as the most entertainment. And that's what I class best race as. I'm going to kick things off with a men's 100 fly. And this one's kind of in the category of both. Because Christoph Milak has gone under 0.1, close to the world record.
Yeah,
When
that's 300s, I think it was.
Yeah, I think me and you kind of questioned, where is Christoph Milak heading into this meet? We're like, we don't know where he is. I don't know what shape he's in. He was apparently just doing individuals. That changed. Hubert Koss called him out. And he's gone this time and taken, I wouldn't say taken two other swimmers with him, but it is to podium now in a 100 fly at a good international meet. You're in your 49s, which I still can't wrap my head around.
Yeah, you're going to have to go a 49 point. It's just like the 100 free, you're going to have to go a 46. It's you have to, otherwise you're nowhere near the podium at all.
Yeah.
Because it's not just those three swimmers. You've got the Americans that come in as well. I think Matt Temple's going to be joining them very, very soon because he had a very good he had a very good summer, actually. Glasgow went well for him too. So the 100 fly is going to be mega when it comes to Worlds next year, LA as well, I'm sure. But yeah, that race was staggering. I think we kind of predicted that it was going to take 49 to win, but the top three was always going to be 49. I think when you're dealing with Grosset and Ponti, all very capable of sub 50 easily. But I suppose Milak was the big talking point because he was fractions off Dressel's world record, which I thought was going to be broken, maybe not this year, but sometime soon by Grosset. And maybe he will.
I agree.
But I think Milak is now the one who's going to be, sort of head and shoulders at some point very, very soon. But yeah, as much as that 100 fly swim was good, the freestyle swims were also very, very special. Yeah, the 100 fly was definitely a race. I'm going to go with another Milak race. And this got me out of my chair. Honestly, seriously, I was shouting at the screen. It was the men's 4x1 free, where at the same time, where you're seeing Kornev diving in, okay, this is over. But then you see Milak do one of the best starts I've ever seen. And he stays level with Kornev.
Takeover, yeah.
And
someone's past him.
I thought he would burn out, basically. I thought he would fade away. And he overtook fractions. Obviously, we're dealing with hundreds of seconds. But he overtook Kornev and won for Hungary. And actually brought about some emotion, which you've never seen from Milak.
He's usually very deadpan, isn't he? This week he was either really happy or really fired up. It was
good to see.
It was almost like he was free of something.
Yeah. He was. Well, they will say a happy swimmer is a fast swimmer. And
he looked very happy.
He was very, very happy in this meet and brought about some incredible times. I mean, it's not far away from the Lizak split. I mean, Lizak split is obviously still very, very strong. But when you're going 46.2 for what I consider a fly swimmer, he used to be a 200 fly swimmer.
Sprinter now.
But yeah, he has to be considered a sprinter. Unless he surprises us and he does target the 200 fly again at some point. But he has a stunning meet, honestly.
And why would you go near the 2 fly when you're swimming this in the 100 free, 100 fly? You just don't need to throw it into your program.
Yeah, it was very interesting to see how that turns out. But that race was really arguably my favourite one, just because of the final leg, if I'm honest.
Talking about the loudest you've stood up and shouted then, for me, the loudest I shouted this summer, and we try and be fairly level-headed, I would say, Dan, when we're covering most meets, even though there's a big British bias in us.
Right, yeah.
The women's 4x1 medley relay to end it. That was the loudest I've shouted all summer.
Yeah.
And I I had the splits up straight away. Like I was watching splits for the first 200 meters because I was like, Angharad done some special things, and this is the last blowout this summer. What's she going to do? And she did her 103, and I was like, Dan, what's going on? And then Kienna, and then Freya Colbert bringing it home, and she's done that at Bucks. Like, it's a different level, European Championships, but she's a very good chaser, is what I would say. Like, having her at the back end of that relay, I think, was a really good decision. You could have thrown in pure 100 freestylers in Evie Davis, who's had a fantastic summer of progress, by the way. Yeah. Theodora Taylor, again, she had a big relay split for Wales at the Commonwealth Games in their mixed medley swim, where she went a 52 point. Or Freya Anderson, actually, you could have put her in as well, who again had a really good European Championships close in the mixed 4x2 free relay, the most unnecessary relay, in our opinion. The Championships, she swam a 155 relay split, which is right up there with her fastest times ever. In fact, I think that was her fastest relay split ever. You could have put her, but no, Freya Colbert, right decision, because I would say she's close to being an automatic anchor pick for the women's relays. The way she chases down a field is so impressive, and PB doesn't matter. It's the swim, and when you're closing like she did, like I said, that was the loudest I've shouted all summer.
It was quite useful that she was breathing towards the other team as well.
Sure.
Whether that makes a difference, because you're going to go gun-ho on that final leg anyway. Yeah. But maybe it does help when you actually see yourself reeling them in and builds that confidence inside. I'm actually catching here, and you actually try harder potentially. But I think she got the win on that final stroke. And I was much the same as you, actually, to be fair. And I looked at the splits, and I thought it was a typo, if I'm perfectly honest with you, seeing a 63 for Angharad. Like,
it didn't look right to start with.
That doesn't look right. I've never seen a 63 for anything. That's really, like, honestly, super impressive. They were all impressive, if I'm honest. Yeah. That entire team. Lauren going sub 60 again is exactly what you need. Angharad doing stupid stuff. Kienna just coming off that 200 fly, which I thought would be a really hard turnaround, and she's backed up with one of the strongest splits that we've ever seen in this country. And then Freya doing what Freya always does now, which is extremely promising and useful to have at the end of a relay. And those two relays are always exciting.
Relays were good at European Champs.
They really were.
We had some duds at Commonwealth Games because Australia were there. We had some duds at Pan Pacs because Australia fully strength weren't there. Europeans, you had proper head-to-heads in relays. Yeah. It brought back the excitement, albeit there was one relay that was unnecessary in the program. The rest of them were great.
Yeah, no, they really were. So they're probably your top three races, I would say. I've kind of put the men's 50 back as well, just because of the underdog story. If I'm honest, Needler was not really supposed to win that one. I thought Kolesnikov was going to win that at like a canter, if I'm honest. Because his PB, his world record, is a half second quicker than what he actually went. And then the top four were split by 400ths. So you could
say the same on the women's 50 breaststroke.
50 breaststroke as well, yeah. The only problem with backstroke, and we said this in the live streams, was that you literally can't see anything until you get to the final 50 metres when you get the far out shot.
Yeah, the side on camera that they were obsessed with using for not just 50 back, for all of backstroke is useless.
Just
give
honestly,
me a spider cam, get me a bit higher up.
So that was good from that point of view. But there were others. I mean, yeah, men's 100 free.
Yeah.
There were 3 sub 47s. The men's 50 fly. The men's 4x2 at the very beginning when Marchand went stupid times, and actually they won a silver in the end from the outside lane. There were many swims, but I think we've kind of nailed it. There's 2 relays in the men's 100 fly. They were the really exciting races.
Top swims. I'm going to go Brit here, and just we've not talked about some of these swimmers at European Championships that need to be talked about. So Filip Nowacki winning his European title in the 200 meters breaststroke. The most impressive thing, taking down Kasper Corbeau. Like, Kasper Corbeau is a seasoned veteran in 200 meters breaststroke, and Filip Nowacki is swimming like he's a seasoned veteran, not a school kid. He is still a school kid. I know he's off to Loughborough next year. But like, he's had such a mature summer, and the best is still to come. Like, Dan, I know you've missed the British record prediction this season. Have it next season. It's coming.
I wasn't too fussed in the end. I just wanted to see him win, and the fact that he did. And did you see the picture of them on the podium, or did you just see them on the podium?
Well, yeah, Kasper Corbeau is massive.
It's bizarre, honestly. But we said that about Shin Ohashi as well. They're both very short in stature in comparison to the big guys of Martin Engi and everyone else. But yes, no, he... I think he might put him in the same bracket as Casey and Kiana. Like, he's come away with the silverware now, and this might be the stepping stone. He needs to go on to bigger and better things when it comes to Worlds and Olympics even.
He's certainly taken like a duck to water in senior swimming. Like, there has not been
Yeah.
that transition period really for him, which is impressive.
Usually it's a tough transition as well.
Yeah, another swimmer that we've not talked enough about, Lauren Cox, 50 meters backstroke. She's had silverware in every time she's raced it this summer. I know there were huge targets for world records and stuff. The world records moved on quite far now. But the 27.1 is a very, very good swim. Yeah, equal British record in the 50 meters backstroke, and the confidence again is seeming to be flowing. It's an important event, I think, for her, given that it's on the Olympic program, and the 50 back at Europeans is strong. She beat some good swimmers out in an outside lane. Yeah, she's one again. Like, if we've not mentioned her enough on this podcast, we should have, because she's had a really, really solid summer.
Well, I think the 50 is going to be her number one priority. I know the 100 back is going to be part of it because she wants to do relays, of course. But the 50 back, I consider her an out-and-out sprinter. And when it comes to swim speed, she's right up there. Honestly, right up there. Maybe Sarah Curtis at the moment is a little bit ahead because of what she's doing right now. If we can kind of just improve that start just a little bit to try and keep tabs with the best in the world, your Kayleys, your Reagans, your Burkhoffs, the rest of them. If we nail that for the first 15 and then get into the swim speed, she's a real problem. She really is. She's a problem anyway. She's meddling every time she does this race. But that start is strong. It just needs to be a little bit stronger, I suppose. And then
she's got the reaction. I think it's the underwater.
It might be the
breakout
underwater
phase.
Yeah. But she's extremely strong. I mean, the stroke rate we always going about is incredible, really.
Other swims before I mention emotionally the biggest one for British swims before we get to or European international ones. So Ed Mildred in the 100 meters butterfly, we said he made the international final. He stepped it on. I think he would have been disappointed with his semi-final swim. He scrapes into the final and goes back into the low 51s that he hit in the heats. It was really impressive, and he has become very reliable in a medley relay, hitting 50 points all summer long. Really, really encouraging, and that medley relay at the end, he let no one down, taking it really to the field. And in fact, Britain turned first when he was in the water.
That's right.
Or when he left the water. Freya Colbert had another medal-winning meet, the 200 meters freestyle. I still think she's learning the ropes a little bit. Like, she's hit a British record this year in it. But she had a hugely, we've already talked about her roles in relays, but you still think, I'm excited that there's growing room for Freya still, if that makes sense. Like, she's hit British records this year. She's looked unstoppable domestically, internationally. I think we're still to see the best, and I think that's actually a good thing this summer, because there are opportunities in the 200 meters freestyle coming up for her, and I think that could well be quite a big focus coming into view.
It seems that way to 200 free. I know she was wanting to do well in the 400 free, and for whatever reason that hasn't quite happened. That's a real learning event, mind you. Things have clicked for the 200 though, definitely.
Yeah.
She might be a little bit disappointed that she didn't back up her champ swims and put them into your commies and
I'm
Europeans.
not too fussed.
But she's come away with silverware, so I don't think she'll be too disappointed. I think there'll be an inkling that she wants to go quicker.
Maybe, but that 2-3 final against Semenova and Steenberg, and those are... They've been around, Semenova is reigning European champion.
Yes,
she's been around the block for a little while now. And Steenbergen is doing what Steenbergen is doing this summer. And she mixed it with the both of them.
Yeah, no, I'm not really complaining at all. I'm just thinking from her point of view, being an athlete, wanting to be the best every single time, maybe that would play on her mind a little bit, but I think she'll very much brush that very quickly under the carpet and say, well, actually, grand scheme, big picture, I've actually done quite well. And hopefully that leads into the next season in a positive way. I think the Brits overall have done relatively well, if I'm honest, with all the names that you've just said.
I've got two more just to throw very quickly before I get to the final one. I'm sorry, I'm lengthening out this podcast. Ollie Morgan, he had a fairly quiet European Championships. We know the little bit of the backstory came out at the Commonwealth Games. His relay split at the back end and giving GB the lead at that point. When Kleshnikov hit a wall. 52.6 was really, for knowing what we know, impressive.
It's like his fifth fastest time, though.
Exactly.
And we kind of forget about that. I know he's got 52.1, but that's like fifth fastest this country's ever seen. It's still very, very good.
And Greg Butler in the 200 meters breaststroke.
Yeah.
I know Philip's going to get all the headlines, but 209, we literally talked about it earlier on this podcast of just how good a 209 200 breaststroke is. Quietly gone about his business, and like our power ranking index has him above some names. I can say that.
Well, let's not give it all away.
Let's not. The final one then, Jimmy Guy. Relay swims this summer have gone under the radar, but 154 zeros twice this summer in relays are huge for 4x2s, which 4x2 relays occasionally has looked slightly stuttering. He has been Mr. Reliable, and for him to finally see the 144 next to his individual personal best, and to come away with a bronze medal, and to be the one taking the fight to Popovich.
He's a confident swimmer anyway, but I wonder how much that will actually inspire him.
He's not done. Like, I know he's not done.
Of course he's not done. I'm just wondering if that builds even more of a fire in him, because he's now got that 144. He knew he could always do it.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. He's a confident swimmer. He knew he could do it, but the fact that he's now done it must unlock a few keys and chains in his head to push it even further. Who knows? And the work he's doing at Manchester, this is why I think someone like Abby, I think there's room to improve once she starts to settle more in Manchester.
Yeah, he's been with Ryan for longer than Manchester, hasn't he? Because they were together at Millfield as well. So
yes, exactly. Yeah,
it's working long term.
Yes,
in terms of Ryan, and like I agree. I don't think we've seen the best of Jimmy yet.
No, I think there's more.
I think he's had a very, very solid summer, but just getting started. You get the feeling. Okay, then. That's the Brit talk done. Let's talk about the big swims. Do you want to rattle through them, or do you want to just talk about the big three? Because there were some massive swims at this meet.
I mean, honestly, that we could be here forever talking about some of these.
We've talked about a lot of them. Let's be honest. As we've gone through this podcast, I don't think there's one of these we've not talked about.
No, I mean, I've put a top three here, and Kos's 200 back is not one of them, believe it or not. Like a 152.3 to only be 0.4 off that Aaron Pearsall unbreakable world record was something to behold. Honestly, there were times where I thought he's on it here.
The three you've put are world records. Technically,
I suppose that's basically the difference, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So,
but we'll go through those three actually. Yeah, because we've spoken about. I'm looking at the list here. We've basically spoken about all of them. Yeah, we have. Yeah.
Yeah, the long list of swims, we've spoken about all of them as this podcast has gone along, so I don't think we need to reiterate. The main three protagonists or swims that, if you're on YouTube and you're bored, go watch. Sarah Curtis's 50 metres backstroke is just taking it to a different stratosphere. You can make comparisons, actually, I think, fairly with what Kate Douglas has done to the 53 world record.
Yes.
It's no surprise that the training partners over at UVA, so is Gretchen Walsh.
Yep.
Scary team, if you want to be a sprinter in women's swimming, go there.
Yep.
Marit Steenbergen, 50.74 in a relay split. We've spoken about it in the mixed medley relay. She took Netherlands from 8th to 2nd. Like, I've seen big improvements before, but that is absurd. And she very nearly got to gold as well.
Yeah, because she did a 50.8 in another relay, and then
that might be when she came from 8th to 2nd. Actually, that might be what I'm thinking of, and then she improved it even further.
Yeah,
later on,
honestly, just bizarre. I have no words for swims like that because it shouldn't happen.
Yeah,
it
shouldn't. It shouldn't. And the final one, Jonas Lieberman.
Yeah,
who takes 4 seconds off a world record and a Bobby Fink world record that we thought was special. Like he had really, really attacked that race, and the way he swam it, where he set that world record at the Paris Olympics, you're thinking, wow, he's gone out hard here.
Yeah.
Wow, he is he broke the field within the first 400 meters with how fast he took this out. And Jonas Lieberman was 4 seconds ahead at the 800 mark of that world record.
Sustained it.
That was the thing. And you're just watching him just going, wow.
What is happening?
He is 19 years old, by the way.
Yeah.
If anyone could get the 8-3 world record, it's him or Sam Short, in my opinion.
Yep.
Right now.
I mean, you throw Girardi in now. I'll tell you what,
we just haven't seen him. That's all.
We need to see. There's a number of races women's 100 free, have to see that at some point when you throw all the big guns in there. And I think men's distance swimming as well, when you throw the names that we've basically just said, throw them all in there.
Electric.
Because they just haven't raced each other, and we don't get to see that for another year. We've said this a lot in the live.
The best thing about him against Sam Short is they both race the same.
I know.
It is going to be absolute war of attrition.
I can't wait for it.
I think it'll be like... Do you know what? It might start growing into... I don't know if you watch Tour de France or cycling, where you're going up a mountain and suddenly a person cracks. And they just cannot ride up the mountain anymore. They're going sideways rather than going upwards.
Yeah.
There's a chance they really take each other to like that hard
to the trenches.
If literally anyone tries to follow them, you could just crack halfway through a race and you'll see the splits drop off like Michael Andrew 2IM. Like it could genuinely. How is that still a meme? How is that still a thing? It will be for a while. Of all these swims, I was most impressed with Johannes Liebmann because did I see this? I don't think I saw this coming.
Oh no, not
no
a
chance.
No one did. Surely not. I don't know if in terms of percentage, the Sarah Kerstos world record
it is big, the biggest,
a bigger drop of the world record. But which one impressed me the most? I think I was more stunned. Stunned and shocked are the same thing. I think I'm in the same boat as you, Liebmann, just because I'm expecting like Fink's world record to come back at him a little bit, and it didn't.
Didn't get anyone near him.
And he just completely broke a field, of which it was a solid field as well. Like Germans in there, Dan Whiffen was in there. I know Dan Whiffen wasn't quite on the fine form that he's normally in, but he's taken down a monster world record by a massive margin.
You had a Hungarian, I believe, in second who got within 2 seconds of Bobby Fink's world record, and he wasn't even in view.
So that would be my favourite one as well, but not to say Sarah Kerstos' world record in the 50 back is a slouch at all, or Steenbergen's ridiculous relay split. Any of Milak's swims, honestly, were incredible as well. But that Liebmann 1500 was a special thing to watch. And this is the thing, when you have someone who is so far into the world record, and you have, I mean, he's German, it's a French crowd, and they're cheering you, everyone in that crowd is cheering you on.
It's good an atmosphere as a Marchand race.
Honestly, it really is. Because you're just willing the guy on to do something special, which of course he did. Yeah, we'll see how the 1500 goes. Maybe the time is irrelevant now, and it's just about mental warfare. Cause I assume that's what it will be with Liebmann and Short.
For it. Absolutely buzzing for it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to correct myself. The Hungarian swimmer got within 9 seconds. Like he went at 39 point, which is good. Which is still good.
Still
very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, that I think rounds up our rather elongated.
There's a lot of waffle in there. Yeah.
There is.
Yeah.
Elongated, short review of the European Championships in Paris 2026. It was my favourite competition of the summer. I enjoyed it. Like these swims we've gone through, we could chat for hours. Like we've barely touched upon Hugo Cos's 2-back, really.
I know.
And that's,
I mean, we have spoken about it, just
we have on
not
the live
on
streams.
camera and microphone.
Yeah.
But,
no, we did on live streams a fair amount.
Well, of course we did, yeah. We did it even more offline.
Which leads me to say, like, come join us on Monday nights, 10 p.m. British summer time. We are going to be talking like the latest news in the world of swimming. We're going to be having some games. We're going to be doing some rankings. Like we could do the best coaches of all time. Like we're getting to all of this. We're going to start things off going through our power rankings plus other bits. First episode drops Monday, the 24th of August. Hopefully we can all see you there. There will definitely be interactions with like everyone on the chat, everyone on the live stream. Come watch, come get involved, and continue the little live stream community that we built during all of this summer's racing, because it was great. If not, if you're happy just in the podcast space, thank you so much for listening. We're going to be back. I think the live stream might go onto the podcast channel. We'll see how it goes. It might go up like the day after. But until then, guys, we will see you very, very soon.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll catch you on the next one.
You've been listening to the Propulsion Swimming Podcast with Scott and Dan. We want to thank you for joining us and invite you to subscribe to the show, as well as checking out the Propulsion Swimming YouTube channel for weekly tutorials and videos to get your swimming fix. We will be back next week. Until then, we'll catch you on the next one.